Okay, this video is going to be on backing your horse out of the trailer. We've got two barrels here that we're going to use as a trailer. That way you'll have a better view of what I'm doing and then being in an actual trailer. Okay, all right. You know, the biggest problem we have is a couple of problems is fear and the horse throwing his or her head up and hitting the trailer. The fear is the first thing that we've got to accomplish with our horse, and we do that by building trust. And with the exercises that you do on the ground, it's going to build that trust. Okay, so one of the exercises is what we call a trusting exercise, is just by applying pressure here. Now these two exercises I'm fixing to show you is what you're going to need in order to get this accomplished. Okay, of backing your horse out the trailer. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just applying pressure here and here, and I'm asking her to lower her head, just like so. Okay, as you can tell, I've already done this with this horse, but that's what it should look like. Okay, now when you start trying, the horse is going to, if you haven't taught your horse this, your horse is going to may try to throw his head up, or may try to move her head to the right or to the left and to the right. So just be aware of that, but you don't let the pressure off until your horse releases. See right here, she's holding it, and I'm just going to hold my pressure until she releases. Now some horses may just hold it and not give, and when they do that, just kind of move their heads to the right and to the left, and then they're going to release, and then you release when they release. Okay, all right, as you can see, she's starting to get fairly relaxed here, and that's another reason, you know, we got to lower the head in order to get the horse out the trailer without hitting her head. But also it really calms your horses. It starts helping you get that fear out of them, because they start feeling really, really comfortable. All right. Okay. So the second thing is, now this is our next deal, is we want to back our horse out of the trailer with their head down. So that can be a job too. Let's get right out of here. Or that can be a challenge also. All right, because the horse, if they have fear, if they're afraid of what you're asking them to do, and they're going to want to raise that head, right? Because that's what horses do. They have to get their head up, and so they can see better and see everything that's going on. And that's a sign of fear, and that they're uncomfortable with it. But what we're going to be also asking her to do is we're going to be asking her to lower her head and backing up at the same time. Okay? So what you're going to need to do also is you're going to need to practice. Now remember, you got to practice these two exercises before you attempt it in your trailer. Get your horse used to making this movement. Get your horse used to saying, you know what? When I lower my head and I back up, I've been safe every time. Nothing's ever happened. So get out here in the open, practice these two exercises before you actually do it in the trailer. Now, if you got a horse that is not wanting to back up, you can stick your hand here and your thumb right there on the front of the chest area and just push. She's doing really good. She's a little bit frightened. Okay. All right. Put your hand here and push right there, and that's gonna get your horse to back up. Okay. All right. She was a little uncomfortable with that. This is a horse that I'm training, so I'm fixing that. That's an area that I'm gonna have to work on with her. All right. So what we want to do is get her head down, and we want to be able to back her up. Okay? All right. So these two exercises, the trusting exercise where we lower her head, and then the back up, where I'm applying pressure here, right there on the nose, and I'm moving my body this way, and when I apply the pressure, and when she yields, right here, I'm applying pressure, and when she yields, then I release the pressure. Then I go back and I apply the pressure. It's just kind of a bump and a release. All right, but you don't want to go bump, release. You just want to easily apply the pressure and then release the pressure quickly. All right. Okay. So now I'm gonna get over here. Let's see. I need to do this way. Okay. Load my horse in the trailer. All right. Now I'm going to back her out the trailer. Now luckily I've already done this with this horse many times, and she's comfortable with her head down here beside me. See, that's another challenge that you may have to go through, is by building trust. One way of knowing when your horse is starting to trust you is when they will lower their head standing next to you. Okay? All right. So here I'm going to apply pressure. Then release. Okay? All right. Check. Always check both sides. Make sure she's walking straight. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. Okay, that's how you do it. Also, to help you now, I've been able to go and help people when they needed it quickly. Sometimes people can't get their horses out of the trailer, and so I go and help them. And I've been able to do this just by teaching them in the trailer. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to teach them first the trusting exercise and the backup outside, and then set you up some barrels or even some cones if you don't have barrels, and back your horse through that just continuously, okay, until it becomes just second nature for them, and to where in their mind they're not afraid of it at all. All right. And then you go into the trailer, and sometimes you know, your horse may really struggle. If they get really excited, you might, you know, sometimes just go ahead and walk them out and let them calm down outside the trailer, and then take them back in. But most of the time, your biggest challenge once you teach them this is they're going to want to turn and look like she's doing. They're going to turn and look, and that's okay. Let them look. Maybe once or twice, but that's it. Let them look and see what's going on. And so they can see, and that horse is going to figure this out. Hey, when I get to the edge of this trailer, and you know, just be prepared, because the step is going to go down. All right? Okay. All right. Try this. It'll work, I guarantee you. All right. See you later.